So we're going to switch gears here to Gears of War and some way too early wish list and predictions on Gears 6. So guys, Gears 5 hasn't been out that long, only a few months at this point. And I'm already looking forward to what's to come. In Gears 5, of course, because this is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I've said this on a number of occasions. The big three to me is Gears of War, Call of Duty, and StarCraft. So one of my favorite games and franchises of all time. Gears 5, guys, has had, shaky launch, right? Had a shaky launch. But I think they're right in the ship, in that right direction. Operation 2. Who knows, what the future is going to look like as far as the operations are concerned and all of that. So we're a few years away, right? Most likely from Gears 6, which has been confirmed, as well as Gears 7. Both have been confirmed. Even a Gears of War movie has been confirmed. But what I want to go through is, kind of my wish list for Gears 6. And kind of some of my early predictions that I, kind of just want to share with all of you. And I'd love to get your feedback on it. And I'm not really going to talk so much about, the meta or, things of that nature for Gears 6. I'm going to talk about more so the story, as well as kind of what I'd like to see from the pro scene, as far as that's concerned, as well as content creators, streamers, and just the community in general of Gears of War. So my early wish list would be, guys, in Gears 6, would be that at this point, I would really like to see us play as Kate Diaz in the story, but I'd also like to see it kind of switch around a little bit. I'd like to play Marcus Phoenix, of course, once again. I'd like to play JD Phoenix as well. Do I want to play as Kate Diaz? Of course. But I'd like to switch between characters at this point. I miss playing Marcus in the franchise. I miss playing even JD from Gears 4. I like Kate Diaz. She is an absolute badass, one of the best female characters I have ever seen in a video game, because of just how, her voice acting is incredible. Her story arcs were really good in Gears 5. She's a badass. I mean, let's make no mistake about it. She goes toe-to-toe with, the Locust Horde in this story, even though she's battling those inner demons inside of her mind. But I'd like to see kind of the love spread around a little bit between herself as well as JD and Marcus. Because I was really skeptical about moving into Gears 4, moving away from Marcus. It was kind of like I understood it to a degree, because it was like, okay, Marcus is passing those reins on to JD. Marcus is getting older. But I'd like to see that one last hoorah with Marcus. As far as JD's concerned, I was getting used to playing as JD near the end of Gears 4, and I was like, I actually like playing as JD. I really like him. I like his character, all those things. I think that, he's going to have dark days ahead, which he does. Gears 5, we definitely can see that. But I thought they kind of, if they would have switched it around between JD and Kate in Gears 5, I would have liked that. I would have liked playing Marcus as well. Marcus is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Gears of War is one of the reasons I really got into, just gaming in general and content creation. It opened my mind to so much creativity. The endless possibilities of what video games have to offer. So, I would like to see the love spread, between a few different characters. Kate Diaz can be the main character. I'm fine with that. But I want to see those inner demons continue, kind of, with Kate. And even JD, even Marcus. I want to see the Locust Horde really start to kind of weigh their, take their toll on, you know, all of these characters. Because I think it makes for an intense story. I'd like to see, more characters from the Locust Horde, like more bosses, so to speak. But like bosses like General Rom, and characters like that you have to go up against. One of my predictions would be, I do think that, and I thought this in Gears 5, but that it didn't happen, was that Kate Diaz would become the queen of the Locust Horde, and then you would take the helm back as JD or Marcus, and you would go after the Locust Horde and Kate, and try to end it all once and for all. Because we know that Gears, 6 and Gears 7, they've been confirmed, and we're going to talk about that here later, but those have been confirmed, but it's one of those ordeals like, where are they planning on going with the story? And that's kind of something that we just are having to make predictions about in our kind of wish list, right? I'd also like to say that as far as my wish list is concerned with Gears 6, I would like to see, as far as the pro scene is concerned, I would like the pro scene to switch from escalation to execution. And here's why, guys. I love escalation. I think it's one of the more creative game modes actually in all of esports to watch. It's a lot of fun, a lot of strategy involved. But I think there's something about execution. It's kind of like that search and destroy mentality, which is, it's easy to understand, it's easy to follow, and each player only gets one life. And so I think that there would be, some significant strategy involved in that. And so I think that even the best teams in the world, like, for example, right now, Energy, I think that it would be even harder for them to dominate the scene. Maybe not. But I think that there might be other teams that would be able to outslay, even if they're like hot for that game, so to speak. It just creates different elements, and I'd like to just see kind of like a change up. Just see kind of, They even said with Gears 5 they were going to start with that. They started with execution, then they moved over to escalation once again. I would have liked to see execution as far as that's concerned. I would have just liked it. Or maybe even added as a game mode, like so they play some execution as well as escalation. Even that would be fine. I just think it would be kind of cool. But I certainly still love escalation. There's no debate about that. It's my favorite game mode I play on Gears 5 at this point. It's pretty much the main game mode I play between that and execution. So there's that. That's kind of a wish list there for that. I'd like to see, as far as a prediction goes, I would predict that execution will be the game mode that is played in Gears 6. Because I think a lot of people are thinking that Gears 5 released a little bit early. And maybe it did. Maybe it released a little bit early. I'd like to see them take their time with Gears 6, just kind of really flesh everything out. I understand that there's timelines with this, but I just hope that the Coalition, they can take their time with it, release it when it's ready. Don't do it until Gear 6 is ready, or release it until it's ready. Because I want what's best for the franchise, and I'm willing to wait. I would be willing to wait. I think a lot of other people would be willing to wait for Gears 6, because Gears 5 is very fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying it a ton. Sure, there's little things here and there that I don't, that kind of annoy me about it. But overall, I absolutely love Gears 5. I think we're moving, a step in the right direction continuously from Gears 4 to Gears 5. And I hope that continues with Gears 6. But just take your time. I hope Microsoft lets them take their time with Gears 6. So that's a huge wish list for me. Like, as far as a huge wish for me is, let the Coalition take their time. If that means an extra year, extra 2 years, let them do it. We keep getting operations, added things to Gears 5. I'm totally cool with that. And I think that Microsoft or Xbox, they may have learned that from Gears 5, that they need to just give them a little bit more time. And there's nothing wrong with that. We as a community would be willing to wait for an incredible, incredible product. Even though Gears 5 has that incredible product in it, it's just that some things weren't fully ready when the game launched. That being said, another thing that I wish for is for the community. I want the community to just get behind your favorite creators, your favorite streamers. Get behind those individuals and support them. I'm not saying just me, guys. I'm talking just any of the creators. Shadows, Moo Moo Milk, Landon, or, Domez. I mean, guys, these guys are grinders. They grind. They love this franchise. They love the game, okay? Support those guys. Support any of your favorite creators within Gears. Look, motivate them to continue creating content for you. Watch their content. Watch their streams. Support them. This is a process for all of us. We as a community need to be supporting each other. So, it's our job as creators and streamers to give you more content to watch, to enjoy, more giveaways, more, just more stream time, more videos, so on and so forth. I'm going to do my part, guys, and I've been doing that now on the YouTube channel. I've been trying, the only game I stream is Gears 5 at this point. That's all I stream is Gears. I love Gears of War. It's like I said, one of my favorite games. I want to give you all as much content as possible. And so do these other creators in the scene. And it's up to, the community as a whole to support one another. The pro players, I would love to see them streaming more. I understand that you don't want to show, your strats and such from scrims, whatever the case might be. But that helps build the scene. See, guys, here's the thing. We as a community and the pro players who are, of course, in a category alone in and of themselves. The thing is that the pro players streaming or creating content, what that's doing is it's building out the scene so that it gets bigger and bigger over time, because more eyeballs are going to be on it because the pros are playing and such. And a lot of people love to watch the pros play because they're incredible at the game. First of all, it's helping those pro players. They're able to, make a little extra off of streaming or off of content creation, whether that's on YouTube. And then on top of that, it's building the scene out for the next people who come in, the next pro players that come in. There's so much more than just winning tournaments. Sure, that's a big deal because you can win some money and such, and that's awesome. That's a legacy thing. But it's more than that right now because it's not fully built out yet. So let's all do that. Let's all work together to build this scene out to really make it bigger and bigger over time. And that's really important, guys, for Gears of War as a franchise. And we're going to get into, here shortly, like, that Gears 6 and Gears 7 have been confirmed, but there's a number of things that could keep those things from actually seeing the light of day, and we'll talk about that here shortly. But we, guys, as a community, have got to be working together to grow, to help each other, support each other. We got to do those things. And I'm going to be doing my part. I am doing my part. I'm trying to do as much as I can to help build the Gears scene. It's up to all of us to do our part and to support one another and to grow the scene out into something that isn't just a niche game, but is a movement.